Wrestling fans, welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. And here are your hosts, the Hot Pockets impresario, Johnny Bottles, and the neckbeard psychologist, Dr. Don Wayne.
Greetings, wrestling fans. My name is Johnny Bottles, and to my left is Dr. Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist. You know him, you love him from Twitter, from a lot of his snappy retorts such as, "You kiss your mother with that mouth?" and "Wow, I never seen moss growing on teeth before." And is your profile picture really a Japanese anime cyborg woman?
It's what they do.
That's what they do, folks. Hey, if you've never been to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast channel, check us out. Check out some of our other videos that we've been doing so far. And if you like the product, give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Please subscribe. We're in a long, slow crawl to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. I can taste it, Don. I can taste it. On the tip of my tongue, I can taste it. I can taste it like this microphone.
We'll give a shout out real quick. Media Boy UK, he promotes us a lot on Twitter. His birthday is Tuesday.
He does.
So happy birthday.
Oh,
Want to
really?
appreciate that real quick. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Give him a shout out real quick. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Summerslam was last night. Whole family surrounded the TV. We talked a lot about WWE in the recent weeks leading up to SummerSlam.
Yes.
They were under-delivering. They were providing a lot of ball slammer type shows where it just wasn't hitting home. Yeah, it just wasn't hitting home. It wasn't good. It wasn't embarrassing, but it wasn't good. Then we get to SummerSlam, and I said, my God, please, don't let this be a boring show. We need a classic PLE to hit home right now. If there was ever a time for Triple H and company to deliver a show, this was the day to do it. Bottles, I got to say, from my perspective, from start to finish, just my opinion, this goes up there with SummerSlams of 92 and 97. Those are two of my favorites all time, personally. Now, some people always go back to the Hardy episode against the Dudleys and the, what was that match? The three-way, right? With the Dudleys and the Hardy Boys and the
Edge and Christian. Yes.
If that's your thing, I get it. A lot of people say that's one of the greatest matches ever. It sets the whole stage for how we have wrestling now. For me personally, 92 and 97 were two of my favorites ever. This one's up there in that conversation now for me personally. I don't know about you.
It's amazing. They were treading water, spinning their wheels, so to speak, for the last month, I think, on both shows. You had like a little jab, a little nugget of goodness here and there, sprinkled throughout a 3-hour Raw. SmackDown, the last SmackDown I saw was lackluster. I didn't care for it that much. The one before that, I didn't care for that much either, and so on and so forth. Rinse and repeat throughout the month of July. But I tell you what, they really put the pedal to the metal this time. Last night, it was a masterclass. A masterclass. And putting on a pro wrestling spectacle. I'm not talking about just the matches. I'm talking about the production, the way it was shot, the way the show looks, and they brought back the frickin' ref cams from WCW, Don. But this was in 8K, 4K resolution. It was fantastic the way they did it. I loved it. I really did.
It was also a humongous pain in the ass. Somebody needs to cue them in on what a GoPro is, okay? Someone tells them what a GoPro is. Figure out a way to get that wireless bad boy hooked up. It'd probably be a lot easier there, guys. They do make wireless cameras that you can carry on your person now.
I only saw one thing that in the entire production that bothered me, in the fact that it took so long to get to the ring. When somebody's doing a run-in, they should have had I don't know. They should have had a tram. They should have had a bicycle. He's on a bicycle. They should have had one of those things there, Don. A little go-kart, a little golf cart to drive down to the ring and crash into it.
I can't see Dominic Mysterio driving away in a golf cart with Liv Morgan, but we're going to get there. That's neither here nor there.
Kevin Owens almost had a heart attack.
He was having a time, pal.
Tough time.
He was having a time getting down there. I will say that the haters are going to hate. There was a lot of the usual suspects on the interwebs, the social media posts. if you like this show last night, you're not a wrestling fan. This wasn't wrestling. This show had exactly 71 minutes of actual wrestling, and this was a 3-hour production. By my count, dude, shut the fuck up, nerd. Shut up, nerd. Go outside. Do something else. I'm going to give a shit what you got to say. Talk about how long the match was. God almighty.
You got to bring up our board.
Donna Bottles just wanted to say hi. Thank you, Denisha. It's good to have you here.
Denisha.
Thank you very much for joining us on a Sunday. I want to say hi to everybody again. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification channel. We're always glad to see you. I saw some folks last night, by the way, during the Summerslam. As they say, the Summerslam.
The Summerslam, yes.
The Summerslam.
Like the 90-year-olds say, I'm going to go watch the Summerslam.
It was fun on Twitter for those that were enjoying the show. There were some folks that weren't home last night, not watching it. They had other priorities. That's what it is, right? I get it. They're sitting there. One guy tweeted me last night, is it really this good? Because I'm getting super pissed. I'm not home right now. I was like, I don't want to lie to you, man, but I'm not going to say nothing else if you can't watch it because it's just phenomenal to me.
Were you talking about Collision?
Phenomenal.
You were talking about AEW Collision?
No. We will talk about that after the SummerSlam.
After the SummerSlam? Okay. We'll talk about the Collision after this SummerSlam, Don. Thanks.
Well, you know, in Collision, in a 2-hour show, they had exactly 75 minutes of wrestling.
Who said this, Don? Was it the Joe Biden of wrestling analyst, Dave Meltzer?
Oh, Dave Meltzer had a lot to say, specifically about the CM Punk match, which we're going to get to. I guess.
There's Dave. The Joe Biden of professional wrestling analyst.
Please get that guy off my screen. Jesus. I can't handle him. Let's get to it.
You're a hater like Dave Meltzer.
Let's talk about it. The first matchup was Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley.
I didn't
take notes. I didn't take notes. I just wanted to enjoy this match. There were certain little pieces that I took away from it that I put in my own head. Rhea Ripley sold her arm, dislocation, if you will. She had that little bone sticking up because she's so muscular she could pop that thing up there. Make it look like that's how it's dislocated. I was entertained by this match. Liv Morgan's run right now is as good as I've ever seen her. I am so impressed with everything that she does in this, and she did what she was supposed to. The way the match started, I was entertained as hell. Did you like Liv Morgan constantly trying to escape, get out of the ring, run around, get away, get back in the ring? I loved all of that. It's
textbook chicken shit heel. Chicken shit heel.
And then when Rhea Ripley got her hands on her, she beat the shit out of her. Non-stop, relentless ass whooping central. It was golden.
That first riptide she hit, did you expect her to throw her down on the top turnbuckle? Because I did not.
No. When she turned and hit it, I was like, damn, you meant that shit.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Which, by the way,
strong woman.
She looked fabulous last night. She was in tremendous shape. She has clearly not stopped working out. Looking at you over on the other channel, some of you guys, and you know who you are. Liv Morgan and the presser came out looking like a 10-star star. 10-star star is the best way I can put it. I love this match. I love the lead up to this match. You going to say something? Go ahead.
I was going to say something. She's no Snooki Perazzo, pal.
Oh, you're not lying there. You're not
She's
lying.
no Snooki Perazzo.
Then we get the ending of this match. Bottles. Oh, yeah. By the way, before we go any further, Bottles, I want to give you your props. You were 7 for 7 in who would win. I was 6-1. The only one we disagreed on, we'll talk about a little bit later, but I could not believe that happened. I thought for sure they were going to keep the title on the other person. We will talk about that in a minute. How does it feel to be 7 for 7 in the pay-per-view or the PLE, however you want to say it?
It feels damn good, pal. It feels damn good. I feel like Beer Man when the liquor store opens. That's how I feel. Fantastic. Exhilarated.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
We talked about this PLE Thursday and said, man, we sure are saying there's going to be a lot of interference in this show. Turns out we were right. We were right. And then the Friday night episode of SmackDown led into the main event where then you get the Bloodline rules.
Bloodline rules.
And we had mentioned something about that on Thursday's show. I couldn't go back. I don't remember what it was, but we had mentioned something about it. Anyway, back to this match because we get back to the Dom moment that we've been waiting on forever. Dominic Mysterio stops Rhea Ripley from using a chair on Liv Morgan and tells her, you'll get disqualified. You can't win your title. Clear as day. You can hear it. And the evening announcer's like, there he is. He's trying to help her out. So she does not get hosed on this. They get around the side. He slides in the chair, jumps up on the ropes. There's a chair in the ring. There's a chair in the ring. Liv Morgan hits her finisher that Rhea Ripley sold like a champ. Right on the chair. Yes. Chair slides out. 1, 2, 3. Liv Morgan retains. And Dominic Mysterio shows he's an evil bastard in the end and kisses Liv Morgan, which breaks our star's heart in Rhea Ripley. Cue the music. What a hell of an opener. This is how you get fans to invest. This is how you get those asses to come out of them chairs and cheer or boo or get a reaction. Off we were running.
It's only going to get more convoluted and more twisted tomorrow night because they all got to face each other tomorrow night. They're all going to see each other in that locker room, backstage. And it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. Not just with Liv and Dom and Rhea, that love triangle, but with some other people in the Judgment Day too. But we'll get to that.
Denisha says, Donna Bottles, I enjoyed Jelly Roll when he performed Liar, and they showed the video footage too. We were getting home from the bar when that happened. My son enjoyed it. I know a lot of people did enjoy it. Thank you again. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm hitting things that I shouldn't be hitting. The Judgment Day is changing right in front of us.
Exactly.
And it's not just changing a little bit. There's major movement now within the Judgment Day. A year ago, compared to, after the SummerSlam, it's a completely different looking group now. Rhea Ripley, look, they had to do something with Rhea Ripley other than leave her in this faction, right? It's supposed to be a heel group. She is clearly a face now. She's cheered everywhere she goes. It's that I'm not comparing her to Stone Cold before anybody loses their shit, but she's such a badass as a woman that you can't make her a heel right now. She's going to have to be a face because she's such a badass. She has such a great look about her. Whereas Charlotte could come off as a conniving bitch. You could keep her as a heel. Rhea Ripley just comes off as a gothic, cool chick. Got to be a face, in my opinion.
Don, this whole thing's not over yet. Where do you see this going? Where do you see this going? Do you see her taking on Liv Morgan in a championship match in an episode of Raw? Or do you see it playing out to the next pay-per-view? Bad Blood, I believe it is.
I think you're going to see this play out all the way until the Royal Rumble.
Ooh.
That's where I think. I've got an idea. I'm going to get to a little bit later because of the other screw job that happens. But the next pay-per-view, I think you're looking at a mixed tag match.
That would be excellent. Yeah.
I think you're looking at a mixed tag match on the next one. That's how I see this coming down the pike. The backstage cutscenes, by the way, that the WWE does, they're brilliant. They're done so well.
Incredible.
Everything they do is so slick. It looks so clean. They tell you the story of how we got here, what's going on. It's just such great quality stuff, pal.
All those little recap videos and all that, Don. It's not the neckbeard's cup of tea.
Well, apparently, it's no one's cup of tea on that side of the aisle because we got the numbers on some of those shows, and my God in heaven, how do you sustain that anymore?
We will check that debacle out at the end of the SummerSlam review. There's a lot to talk about there, a lot to unpack with what's going wrong there. But
what's even easier to talk about when you talk about what's going on the other channel? What's going right? Because that'd be the easier discussion because it would be so short. It'd be a quick list and you're done. Because they couldn't shut up for these guys that look, and again, we've said this a million times. We want to like AEW, but they make it so damn hard. WWE, on the other hand, I'm not going to sit here and go through the minutia of, well, you should look him up on Google. They tell you the story, and that's what I like. Speaking of stories.
Right. I think tomorrow night, let me interject this one point, and we'll get back to that. Tomorrow night, we're going to do a special show at 7 o'clock. The 7 o'clock to 7:10 is called What AEW is Doing Right. Put that on your calendars, folks. We're going to be doing that tomorrow night. 7 o'clock to 7:10. What has AEW done right? It's a short show.
We're out.
That could have been a
Breaker and Sami Zayn had, I think, what was probably the shortest match of the night on this card.
I think so. I think so.
It wasn't overly long, but again, it told a great story. It was the young rook, the young pup, learned from his previous mistakes and overcame the trickery and the mastery of Sami Zayn, which Sami Zayn had a good match. They got their shit in. I enjoyed everything about this match. Again, it did. Not every match has to be 20, 25 minutes long. You can have a good 12-minute match and move the show along. You know what else cracks me up about this?
What's that?
Braun Breaker wins, by the way. Braun Breaker wins. He is your new IC champion. He did his usual stuff. He did the Frankensteiner off the top rope. They did some really special moves. It wasn't embarrassing. They had a solid match. There was nothing that stood out to me. What do you remember about the match?
I remember the Frankensteiner off the top. I remember it seems like Breaker sort of got lost outside the ring a little bit when they were both outside the ring, and Sammy got him and called the next spot, and they got it back on track, which is possible. I mean, you know, guys get hit in the head for real, and they sort of lose their train of thought and forget what the next move is because they're broken down that way, and then they pick it back. The veteran will guide the new guy. And Braun Breaker's test his test of his mettle, mettle, will be when he wrestles a new guy, when he wrestles a newbie, a jobber, or a new guy who just came up from NXT, relatively new to the company. And Braun Breaker will have to be the veteran, the ring general, and talk him through a match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Sammy guides that guy, and so did Ilya, and everyone who's faced Braun Breaker. But what they've done now is with these two guys, Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker, they're the only two men on the main roster that have pinned Gunther.
Yeah.
So what happens next? We'll cover that later.
You got to crawl before you can walk if you're Braun Breaker, right? Right now.
Right.
Gunther's been in the main roster now for what, 3 years, 4 years now? He's been there for a while on the main roster. Braun's going to have to put a little bit of time in before he gets to that level. He's got a lot of learning to do. Do not mention Chris Jericho's learning tree. That's not the kind of bad shit I'm talking about. But he's got a lot of learning to do. He's in a position where he can work with a lot of mid-card guys. The IC title matters again. I feel like it's still one of the major. You know what my son told me? He said he thought the best-looking title of the WWE roster right now is that IC belt. I personally think it's the worst. He likes it. So when they made it, I didn't like it. Apparently the kids like it. I'm just not a fan of it personally. But there is a way to go here. You've got Chad Gable out there who's got his problems of his own and that other faction. I feel like he's going to be a guy that might be contending for this title. There's other guys I feel like are going to come for this spot. I feel like there's enough competition on Raw that running out of options is not going to be an issue. Sami Zayn will probably get the rematch, right? Because it'll be the best of 3 series. That's my input. I feel like there's one more match between them, and then we move on to the next, title defense or whatever the next angle is going to be.
Do you see Breaker going forward as a tweener or as a heel?
No, he's a heel. He's a heel. Look, he's a heel. If you're cheering him, that's fine. You can like him. He's a pure heel. He's a bully. He beats up people outside the ring. He tries to hurt you. He tells you he's trying to hurt you. He's not trying to be a nice guy. Okay. Scott Steiner wasn't a nice guy. Rick Steiner was a psychopath. People forget because the Steiner brothers got over together. They were beloved as a tag team. When Rick Steiner got in the business, he was a heel and he was a psychopath. That was a character he portrayed, was a pure psychopath.
Oh, so, talking to himself, looking up at the sky. He had the collegiate headgear on. Looked like a lunatic.
So I enjoyed this. There's nothing else I can say about it. Moving on. LA Knight and Logan Paul had their match.
Finally.
LA Knight pulled up in the Hummer, in the new Humvee, and had a hard time busting out that window. When you get when you get that special kind of tit going on, that shit makes it almost indestructible. You've got to have a pretty good size hammer to get that thing open. They actually make a special glass or a special hammer you can move to use to break glass. I was surprised they didn't have something like that just waiting for them. So that was kind of telling us like, oh shit, here we go. That was a tough one. He had to nail it a couple of times to break that.
He got it though. He didn't pull a Goldberg. He got it.
God, Jesus. Let me go ahead and slit every artery I've got in my arm.
Let me cut these tendons. I don't give a shit.
Almost bled out next to a limo. God almighty. Those were the days. Anyway, back to this. You were talking about the cool, slick entrances they did. This was one of those entrances, right?
Yes.
This was one of those where they followed up from the back. The camera was amazing. The cutscenes were amazing. Love him or hate him, Logan Paul is a natural-born entertainer in that ring. That moonsault he did off that top rope, I could not believe it when I saw it. And I commented on Twitter. I was like, I cannot believe I just saw this move. The first person that responds, you know who else does that? You know who does it? AEW. The cowboy shit guy. No, the cowboy shit asshole.
Yes. Because he did the buckshot lariat. Logan Paul did. He did it better than Hangman Page.
Yeah, Adam Page does it better than that. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. That moonsault was 12 feet in the air. That was insane how high he got off that rope. It was crazy how high he got. What a freaking move, man. That I remember clear as day. The elbow drop, the superplex, and I thought he almost killed his ass. Oh my God.
Why do you engage? Why do you engage with these idiots online that have obvious fetal alcohol syndrome? Well, just I would not even respond. I would just block them and move on. They're idiots. Logan Paul is a guy who likes professional wrestling, and he found out that he was pretty freaking good at it. And he's doing all this stuff, and he is absolutely excelling at everything he does. Now, granted, he does rehearse his matches. He does have that luxury. He's only defended that title how many times in 265 days?
He bragged about it 2 times. This was his third defense.
Sure.
And you want to know what was funny about it? It's all the neckbeards are like, he's only defended it 2 times. That's why he's a heel, you jackass. He threw it in your face that he wasn't defending it because he didn't have to. He's bragging about it. You guys feed into it because you're idiots. You have no idea. No idea what makes a heel. This guy's a heel.
Got one question about Logan Paul, and then we'll move on. Why is Prime the preferred energy drink of the WWE when they also advertise C4, which is an energy drink? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I don't get that. Well, that was a sponsor for the show, wasn't it?
C4?
I think so. But by the way, we didn't even talk about this, and I meant to. Logan Paul came out with Machine Gun Kelly and his, I don't know, is that dude on meth? That is the skinniest guy I've ever seen in my life. His arms are the size of this in totality. Like the arm of my damn microphone are about as big as his arms.
Arms the size of putters. Golf putters.
I thought he was sick. I was like, who's that AIDS patient? Oh shit, that's Machine Gun Kelly.
He's just unbelievable, man. He came out in somebody's pocket. He crawled out of a man's pocket. It was horrible. Poor bastard.
Do you want to know?
Somebody fatten that guy up. Fatten him up with a Little Caesars. Aren't they a sponsor?
I don't know. But there was something else.
Hot Pockets. Bring the Hot Pockets.
There was something else I want to talk to you about from Friday's show. Because we were sitting here debating who could he mean when he was talking about the mayor of Cleveland is going to present him with an award. He really meant the real mayor of Cleveland. We didn't know that. He really meant the real mayor. I was like, who the hell is he referring to? The real mayor of Cleveland was on SmackDown. Holy shit. When I saw that, I about fell out of my chair. I don't know how you felt.
I didn't know it was the mayor of Cleveland until you told me when we were on the phone. I said, Jesus Christ, she's the mayor of Cleveland. I was shocked by that. It popped me when I heard it. When you told me who that was, I popped.
It's like, holy shit, we're over here acting like a couple of idiots because the mayor of Cleveland's not actually going to be on the show. Bullshit. There she is. Here's your award.
Logan Paul gets it. He gets professional wrestling. That's the best thing about it. He's a YouTube influencer with like 50 gazillion subscribers, but he gets it. He knows what to do. He's got his own podcast. He's got all these different companies he's invested his money in. He knows what it's all about. Self-promoting and promoting the company that you work for. And the guy, he excels in everything. If he couldn't back it up physically, Don, I would say this guy's just a putz. What's he got coming, man?
But he
backs it up physically, yes.
And he's a hell of a performer. But I did want to talk about that superplex because that's one of LA Knight's big moves is he does a superplex off the top rope.
Yes.
Logan Paul did not get his momentum going over the top when he did the jump on that thing.
It looked like he landed on his head.
He landed square on his back and shoulders. He didn't land on his head, but it was a square on his back. That shit looked like a bug
maybe
on
neck
the
and shoulders. Neck and shoulders.
It was bad. It was
bad.
When it
and the
went
referee
over,
right away. The referee grabbed his hand right away. Thought he was done.
Are you dead? And he told him, I'm good. It looked rough, man. That was a hell of a screw up. I mean, luckily he was okay, but my God in heaven. Gotta rotate, son. Gotta rotate coming off that turnbuckle or you can get killed. Was there anything else we're missing in this match that we should talk about?
We'll talk about who won the Intercontinental title, LA Knight. Everybody's saying it.
U.S. title.
The U.S. title, I'm sorry. LA Knight. He needed a belt. He needed a belt to shine him up even more. And let's see how it looks when he's defending it on SmackDown every week. Let's see how it looks then. That's all I'm going to say. Because some of his matches with the wrong opponents have been a little lackluster. Great promos, but a little lackluster in some of the matches. But let's see how it goes. Not complaining. It was a great match last night. Great.
LA Knight had this to say. Long overdue, Knight said. I don't know if anybody could read lips out there, but most of the stuff I was saying, you probably can't see right now because there was a lot of effing going on. And all I can't say right now because there was a lot of effing going on. I don't know, but at this point, the feeling like the timing is right to me to win this because a lot of people have been saying he should have won it long ago. Even LA Knight saying, hey, man, the timing feels right to me. A year ago, I was at a main event with the heavyweight champion. A year later, I'm winning the U.S. title, the secondary title. It feels, and I've said this for a while, I truly believe LA Knight is a huge mid-card talent. I don't think it's sort of like Damian Priest. He didn't feel right when he got it, and it didn't feel right 2 months later. And I sort of feel that way with LA Knight. It sounds good when you say it out loud, but I think in actuality, I don't know that it would carry that far. We'll see. I mean, he's still got a little ways to go, in my opinion, to get there. He's got the U.S. title right now. He's on a major upswing. Let's see where this goes and where they build with this thing. That's just sort of my take it slow approach. See where this goes before we rush into another bad decision.
He needs a good opponent. He needs a good heel to go up against. We'll see how that plays out.
And he's going to have one. Yeah, because, Logan Paul's going away for a while. He's got other things he wants to do. He's got some boxing matches he wants to have. So we'll see how long he's gone. Just a guess, I'd probably say Royal Rumble. You'll see him come scooting back to the door. Just my guess. We'll see. Then we get to the Nia Jax and Bayley match. And I wrote down last night on Twitter, I said, if Nia Jax cannot have a good match with Bayley, she simply cannot have a good match. I will be damned. She had a good match last night, Bottles. She didn't miss moves. She didn't screw up. She was the overpowering person. She used her body size to really push Bayley around. I thought this match was going to be the killer of this show. I said, here's where you have your let me up moment and I can go take a piss. And I was entertained the whole time from start to finish. And the swerve they gave us that I wasn't expecting.
I thought for sure she was going to cash that title in. I mean,
tell everybody what happened.
That Money in the Bank briefcase.
Well, what happened?
Tiffany Stratton ran to the ring, was going to go ahead and cash in. Bayley was distracted. She got waylaid by Nia Jax and pinned, rolled up.
She got more waylaid. She got splashed twice. She got put under, 6 feet under.
Power bomb twice and splashed twice. Yes.
She came out to distract her when it looked like Bayley had the upper hand. And I remember thinking to myself when it happened, oh shit, is she really going to cash in on Nia Jax? And this is going to be a whole weird little angle? It was all a distraction. She had no intention of cashing in. It was just so that Nia Jax could get the title. I was sports entertained by this. I don't want to spend too much time on it. It was great. I loved it. This was where my whole SummerSlam predictions went off the rails, because I really didn't think they were going to change that many titles in one night. And lo and behold, here's the second big title getting changed.
It's almost like they're resetting. They're resetting the shows by changing these belts around.
Yeah. Need something new. Like. Need to freshen this up.
Do you see Stratton going to Raw to challenge for the cash in for that Raw title on Liv Morgan?
It sort of feels like that's what's going to happen, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
Like, okay, I'm not going to challenge you, but now I can go to the other show and go back and forth. Maybe that's sort of where they're going. That's how it felt to me anyway. Personally, that's how it felt to me. Then we get to the bloodline, or the blood feud, I should say. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Been waiting a long time for this. Been waiting almost an entire year for this. Matter of fact, come November, it would have been a year since he made his return.
Yes.
Dave Meltzer said that Seth Rollins spent too much time in the ring and too much attention was on Seth Rollins, and he shouldn't have been there, and he shouldn't have been part of this match, and it took away from the intensity of the match, and yada, 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 yada. Why don't you set this one out, Dave? Because this was about being entertained, not about how many goddamn moves they do in the match. I was entertained by what Seth did. I thought the three-way dynamic was amazing. I thought everything that they did in this match was amazing. It all made sense. They all got a problem with each other. They all don't like each other. Everything this did makes sense. And by the way, I was sort of curious how CM Punk was going to handle this match, if he was going to be the guy getting over the whole time or not. He wasn't. He sold the size that Drew has over him. He sold. He was fighting from underneath. Seth Rollins was like, hey, break up the count. Got in both their faces. It wasn't like, I'm going to just totally go after you. He had problems with both of them. We even had a nice callback to the SummerSlam of 97 with the Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Bret Hart spot, where Michaels plowed the Undertaker with the chair. Only this time, Seth stopped at the last second from hitting CM Punk with the chair. Everything about this was great. The bracelet scene was entertaining as hell. Nothing about this nothing about this was out of place. It all fit. And
the best thing about it is, it's not over yet. It's not over by a long shot. McIntyre's got that little beaded bracelet that a fan made for CM Punk with Larry and AJ's name on it. He got it back. Rollins got it. Punk got it from McIntyre, dropped it with a little bit of business in the ring. Rollins picked it up, put it on his wrist. Punk saw it and thought Rollins was screwing with him. It led to an interchange where McIntyre got the drop on Punk and won the match eventually. After CM
Punk hit Rollins, though, of course.
Right. And then he picked up the bracelet, McIntyre did, and put it back on his wrist again. So he's got that bracelet back. It's not over yet. It's all over but the shouting. And there's more shouting to come tomorrow night. I would be surprised. There's going to be chairs. There's going to be kendo sticks. CM Punk's going to run him over in a car. It's going to be all kinds of craziness taking place. And I am surprised. I am surprised, Don, that there was no injury to CM Punk. I'm glad to say that. There was no injury to CM Punk after this match.
He doesn't need to. I'll say this much. He doesn't need to be jumping down from the top rope anymore when he comes into the ring. I wish he would stop that. It's just not needed. Right. It's undue wear and tear on your body when you're in your mid-40s. You don't need to do that anymore. Just walk in the ropes, go up on the ropes like Austin would do, give the crowd acknowledgement, go on from there. Rollins and that cam, right? The cam that he had on his head. When he ripped it off because the shit got on his nerves was the funniest thing, because you just saw him go through the whole thing out. He was like, I give up. This shit's annoying. Because they didn't use it often. Get a GoPro cam, guys. And you're right. This isn't over by a long shot. This has a long way to go. I feel like this is going to go all the way into the Royal Rumble again. I just do. There's so many ways you can go with this story. So many different possibilities.
Do you think this thing's got the legs to go all the way to the Royal Rumble?
Oh, I think it's going to go to Mania.
True.
I think you're going to have two of these three guys are going to be fighting up until Mania, and Mania is going to be the speak much English? No, I don't. Blood blow-off is where I think this is going. If you like old school rival angles that really matter, that really have a purpose, it's reminded me a lot, and please stay with me, a lot of Mid-South type stuff when Mid-South was in its heyday. A lot of that going on is how it feels. A real personal issue with each other. I don't like you and you don't like me, so let's have a fight about it.
If Mid-South was a billion-dollar company.
Yes, well, that's true. I'm just saying, like they had some good shit back in the day, though. If you've never watched some of the highlights of Mid-South back in the early 80s, go back and watch. It was absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. The Summerslam that we watched, again, I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it didn't drop. It just never happened. It stayed on a scale of 1 to 10. It stayed at a 10 all night. It never let me down. By the way, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Hit the notifications button. Super chat is open if you got something you want to say. If there's something you liked, you didn't like. If you think CM Punk is a bum, let us know. By the way, he also happens to be my favorite wrestler right now.
Give us a ring-a-ling.
On the ding-a-ling.
There you go.
Gunther versus Damian Priest. The coronation of the next great thing.
Yes.
This match, how do I put it? Nothing stood out to me about this match in retrospect. The chops were great by both guys. Oh, but here's the difference. They didn't just chop back and forth. It was bam, bam, then I'll try to do a move. Bam, bam, let me do another move. They didn't just chop each other back and forth. Nobody should stand there and just take chops all night. It's the dumbest shit that they've ever brought into wrestling. This match had a flow. It had an ebb and a flow. It made you care about who won. It made you care about the competitors.
Who are you to doubt Minoru Suzuki? Who are you to doubt Minoru Suzuki?
That's a little pit bull in the ring. Look at him. It's a 105-year-old dude. What the hell is he doing in there?
If that's your cup of tea on the other channel,
then you are drinking some really bad tea.
Yes.
Some terrible shit.
Shit like that doesn't happen in real life.
That's grandma's
fights.
ashes.
I knew it tasted bitter.
Gunther and Damian Priest, this was everything I thought it was going to be. This was absolutely, in my opinion, Damian Priest's best match as the champion. Am I wrong here?
No, not at all. Oh, you right on the head with that. He impressed the shit out of me. Absolutely phenomenal. And Gunther was bleeding from a legit shot.
Yes, he was.
From Damian Priest. Yeah. Trim those nails, Damian.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
What stood out to you in this match?
Two big horses just going at it, and Gunther made Damian look like a star. That's what stood out to me. He made him look like a star, which he hasn't been portrayed as in all his in-ring work, as far as I'm concerned. I always thought it was just blase as it goes along. Yep. You know what I mean? Okay, it's almost over.
There were two spots in this show with Damian Priest and
Gunther.
No, not Gunther.
Finn Balor.
Yes, Finn Balor. Thank you, God. I was about to say Frodo Baggins because he's so small I couldn't think of his name. When they were backstage after the Rhea Ripley match, and Gunther was screaming at Balor. How long have you known about this? I didn't know.
Grind about a face.
I didn't know.
Grind about a face like a baby, like you would talk to your teenage son. You grind about the face.
He said, "I don't know. I don't know anything about it." And as he walked off, he sort of smirked. Well, at the end of this match, here comes Finn Balor, and he's walking to the ring. And you and I said it. It's good. Well, you said it was going to be Drew McIntyre. I've maintained it's going to be Finn Balor the whole time, and it was Finn Balor the whole time. And if you tie the pieces together, he was coming out of Liv Morgan's locker room. He was doing other shady shit throughout the show. He was inviting her in their locker room. They have been planning this, storyline-wise
Liv,
for months.
Finn, Dom,
I think Dom was on the outside and he got suckered in late. That's how I feel.
3-way?
Yeah, a little 3-way action going on there, pal.
Yeah, pal.
What were you doing in her room? It was great.
Yes.
Finn Balor turned on Priest and cost him the match. And the look, when they cut over to Finn Balor's face, the look he was giving was that of pure satisfaction that he had just screwed this guy over.
4 minutes of stink eye. He just stood there for 4 minutes giving him the stink eye. Loved it.
I loved it, man. There was nothing about this I didn't enjoy. I loved everything that happened at the end of this match. Two big boys fighting, like you said. I mean, how do you top this? How do you top this?
Well, they're not going to top it with Damian Priest versus Finn Balor, pal. I really don't want to see that match. Don't want to see that match. That's what I was going to say.
Here's what I think you're going to get. You're going to get a mixed tag match at the next pay-per-view with Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest versus Finn Balor and Liv Morgan with Dominic on the outside to stir the pot. That's where I think we're going with this, which then sets up a possible SummerSlam one-on-one or an October PLE type deal where they have one-on-one matches. I think at Survivor Series is where you may see Rhea Ripley enact her revenge and get a win over Liv Morgan without getting the title. Fast forward to Royal Rumble, she finally gets her title back, and then we'll see where we go from there.
All right, let me ask you this question. Survivor Series is all about the factions, right?
Right.
Do you foresee Judgment Day as in whatever form they're going to be tomorrow night versus a faction led by Priest and Ripley and a few others?
That's sort of where we're at, right? Like, who could possibly join Damian and Rhea? I feel like it's going to just be those two.
LWO?
The Lesbian World Order? No, the other guys. No, I don't think so.
The other guys.
I don't think so. I think it's just going to be those two guys. By the way, thank you all for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate it. If you haven't done so before, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification button. Super Chat's open. I do not believe that they're going to form another faction. I think they're doing this to get a clean break, get away from all of that. The only one that makes any sense right now, they had a little bit of Jey Uso interaction, but I feel like with the return, which we're going to talk about, of the real tribal chief, I think that's going to go in a different direction. So we'll see in the end. I just don't know that you're going to put them back in a faction. I think they see Rhea as a star on her own now that doesn't need any kind of outside drag along, help you, help me type motion. Just she is the queen of the WWE. Sorry, Charlotte, but she is now. She is the new queen of all female wrestling. She has everything you want. Damian Priest probably needs her more than needs her more than she needs her.
Yes. She's got the it factor. She's got the physicality. She's got the size. And she's got the promo skills now. She's got the promo ability, which she really didn't have before when she first came in.
Right.
But now she just goes out there and wrecks it, man. It's fantastic.
You know what else she has?
What's that?
She's got the look. She's got the look. What in the world could make a bright-eyed girl turn blue? When everything I ever do, I do for you. And they go, da 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 da. She's got the look.
Jesus Christ.
It's mayhem. It's mayhem in this ring right now. On to the last match. Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa.
Yes. Oh.
Woo! I'm not going to say that Solo has got to have a good veteran guy in the ring to help him out, but good God, he's got to have a good veteran guy to help him out. I didn't hate this match. I didn't hate it. But you could tell that Cody Rhodes was having to guide him through every step of that thing.
Slow, plodding match with that guy. Just like he was moving through molasses and just looking around, trying to get heat from the crowd with his one facial expression. It was the shits. I'm thinking to myself, dear God, don't let me fall asleep. I want to see those guys run in and see what happens at the end of this. This is so awful. And Cody was just, you could tell Cody was just telling him what to do. And, hit this move, hit that. Just the worst. Jimmy,
I didn't.
Jay, and Solo. All three brothers. All the shits in the ring. The shits. They got 4 moves. Super kick, thumb into the neck, punch, come off the top rope.
Top rope. There you go.
And then have a guy sitting in the corner facing you, and you back up into the corner, and somehow you put your elbows up on the top rope and lift your feet up and scream. And like that's going to give you more momentum to run and throw your ass in that guy's face.
I don't know what's going on over there on that side of the table. I didn't hate the match, but there were times, like you said, was like, damn, guys, like, we need to pick up the pace a little bit here. You're following 6 insanely good matches. You've got to give me something a little bit more here. It was slow. It was methodical. I feel like they could have gotten the point across inside of 15 minutes, and I wouldn't have felt like I got ripped off of a quality program. You know what I mean?
You know what I thought about? You know what I thought about? Solo was in NXT, and he was built as a street fighter. He was not as fat as he is now. He's picked up a lot of weight. He's picked up a lot of weight since he's been on the main roster. Now, I don't know if that slowed him down. Maybe they're. I would hate to say someone's telling him you got to gain weight. I want you to look more like Umaga, like your cousin. Tape that thumb up, and because he's got Umaga's gimmick.
But you got to move like Umaga. Umaga was an absolute
He was quick.
beast. God, he was good.
That
dude was amazing. Can you imagine that guy in today's environment? I don't care if he would have been in his late 40s. That dude in today's environment would have been killing. Hell, he might even be in his 50s. That dude in today's environment would have been
right
killing folks.
And
what a waste of talent, man. But like you said, this was slow. It was methodical. Please continue. I want to hear some more of your
didn't care for it at all. It was plotting. It was almost...
Really? You didn't like it at all?
I didn't like it at all until the run-ins came. And I said to myself, this is ramping up now, baby. Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep.
They had
log on the fire.
They had like 10 straight minutes of run-ins. That's why I was sort of like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot of run-ins. It wasn't just 1 or 2. Like, we had all kinds of folks coming in here.
Oh, yeah.
And there was
called
one
EMTs from Kevin Owens. I thought it was going to. I thought we
that
were
was
have
a long run.
I thought it was going to be a major cardiac infarction right there. You have to get the paddles out for that guy. But they met him outside the ring, thank God, and he fought outside the ring with those guys.
Yes,
and then they went back inside the ring. He remembered that. What's the other one? Tonga. What the one with the beard? He goes, hey. What's the guy's name?
I don't remember.
They're all interchangeable now. They're all interchangeable.
They are. They don't matter. That's sort of where it's come to is without Roman Reigns, none of these guys were established. They just sort of threw them in here, right? The only guy that stands out is Jacob Fatu for obvious reasons because he looks like a goddamn sociopath anyway. So he fits the bill.
Then you got the Bosch machine, Tonga Loa, who was he could even grab a man and throw him in the turnbuckles. He missed the turnbuckles by 3 feet. Obviously, because he's wrestling with an eye patch, maybe it's a lack of depth perception. But he missed the goddamn corner. How can you miss the corner when he grabbed Cody Rhodes to throw him in a corner? I don't know. Tama Tonga, somebody said in the chat. Thank God. One's got an eye patch, one doesn't.
They just don't matter.
They don't matter. It could be anybody.
One's a pirate, the other one's not. One's a hooker, the other one's not. I don't care.
One's a pirate, one's an ass pirate. Who the hell knows?
I just don't care.
They're both sons of Haku.
The only guy that matters in this faction right now is Jacob Fatu, who did an incredible move off the top rope, and son of a bitch, he legit got hurt. Damn it, he's really hurt. He was in a walking boot. They don't know how serious it is yet. He was spotted after the show in a walking boot. This hurts my heart. You could see it when he hit it. He was down on the apron, down on the outside of the ring, screaming and cussing and throwing chairs. He knew he had just fucked himself up. That was awful to see in real time.
There were people online, Don. Now listen to this. There were people online saying, well, he's a double agent for Roman Reigns, so he just pretended he was hurt, so he wouldn't have to go in and stop Roman from fighting with Solo. Can you believe that shit? He's a double agent, Don.
Now I'm going to go find my mother because I need milk. Mom, I need to see your boobs. Fucking perverts.
I was just going to ask, how's he going to drink that milk? But you just answered it for me, Don. That's a picture I'm trying to erase from my mind right now. Moving forward.
You're never getting past this. No, Jacob Fatu is hurt. It is disheartening. He is my favorite new addition to this whole damn thing this year. I think he's probably... I've not been as happy to see a guy debut for this guy as I think, honestly, CM Punk was the last guy. I was like, yes, hell yes. This guy, from the moment he got in here, it's like he looks the part. I am a sociopath. It's how he comes off to me. Love it.
Dude, you know what I read today online? I read a family history of the
TL Hopper
Fatus.
was a gimmick.
TL Hopper was a gimmick, that's right. And Dusty Rhodes, when he came into WWE, really wasn't a meat cutter or a gas station jockey or a plumber.
What?
No, I read that Roman Reigns is the actual cousin. I mean, not cousin, the uncle of Jacob Fatu. He's the uncle of Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu is the son of the Tonga Kid, who was the tag team partner of Haku when they were the Islanders in the WWE.
And he had a big feud with Roddy Piper.
It's amazing the way it all comes together.
Yes. Speaking of which, this match kept going on. The Bloodline was winning because they were getting numbers on Cody Rhodes. And then the music hit. And the crowd went banana. Out comes Roman Reigns. Babies are getting thrown in the air. People are kissing in the aisles. Grandma's fainting. It's go time.
Got the new shirt.
Got the new
OTC.
shirt.
Original Tribal Chief. OTC.
Gets in the ring. Spears Solo. Leaves. That's it. There you go, Cody. Pin him. And of course, and here's the thing, right? He didn't come over and shake Cody's hands. He didn't come over here and say, we're boys now. It was... Let me spell this out for everybody that was like, well, why would he help Cody Rhodes? They just had a match from WrestleMania. This doesn't make any sense because in storyline, he was over there and he hated him. Here's what it is. That's my title. But right now, this son of a bitch is taking my spot. I'm the tribal chief. I'm going to get to that son of a bitch later. I got to take my family back first. We ain't cool. This ain't to help you. This is to fuck him. And I'm out of here. That was it. Showed up,
fantastic.
Whipped his ass, left. By the way, do not be surprised if at WrestleMania Roman Reigns wins that belt. He's just got all the momentum in the world right now. He is so hot because of how they built this storyline, because of how well they've taken care of his character in his own absence for other issues. It was sensational. It was sensational. Cody Rhodes got the shit done. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And scene.
What did you think about the great Arn Anderson talking to Cody backstage when he made that 15-minute trip to the ring, walking his freaking dog?
Why is the dog there?
Pharaoh had to get a little screen time, pal. They're supposedly, they're going to make toy stuffed pharaohs to sell at events. Cody Rhodes' dog. And they're also going to make toy stuffed Arn Andersons. Actual size Arn Andersons to sell at events.
Is he pointing his gun?
Arn.
Nobody move.
Yes.
Nobody
it's going to be called Armed Anderson. That's his new name. Armed Anderson. Arn.
What are we doing here?
Remember I said that Arn was going to be coming back?
Yes.
He may become the manager again for Cody Rhodes.
God, no. No.
Yes.
I love Arn Anderson. I think Arn Anderson is great. I think he had his time, though. And it's
anything to come to the ring. Anything to come to the ring and break up. So, Kanscocken, Ohio. What do we want to talk about? So, Poughkeepsie, New York. What do we want to talk about? So, bumfuck Egypt. what do we want to talk about? Anything to break that up. Anything. Pull the Glock out. Do another Glock promo. Anything like that. Like he did in AEW. Anything to do that. Just please. No fucking dog. No, what do we want to talk about? Don't bring Brandy Rhodes into the ring. Come out with art. Good Lord.
Please don't come out with art. I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, don't. Anyway, he retains. This happened. Great show. Triple H had a lot to say after this show. Did you see his comments?
With that. I did not see any of that.
This year is going to close out big. I'm excited for all of it. The future is bright. This talent is the most amazing roster I think I've ever seen. Most talented, most dedicated. Everybody's having a blast right now, including me, which is the best part of it. They're just also charging ahead right now like I am. So I truly believe it's true. You ain't seen nothing yet. So they're going to close this year out in a big way. They're going to come they're running at the wall right now. Full speed ahead. All engines go. They are building towards Royal Rumble, it seems like now, in Survivor Series and a bunch of other shows. They've got a few PLEs here and there, but it feels like they're about to it feels like Survivor Series might actually matter again. Can we get some 4-on-4 action going on for Survivor Series again? Can we get some of those classic 4-on-4 matches?
4-way?
You do what you got to do over there in Florida, pal. I know about you guys in the loofahs.
They're going to have a Hawk Tua girl in a pole match.
God, I hope not. Can she have...
She was a SummerSlam.
I know. Can we please have her 15 minutes of fame be over already? It was funny for a quick clip. Can we move past the hooker now? Please.
The subtitle of Survivor Series will be "Spit on That Thing." That's the subtitle of Survivor Series.
And have a picture of The Rock when he spits on his hand like that.
Or Jey Uso.
Or Jey Uso. No, don't do Jey Uso. Nobody's going to tune in.
Have you heard, Don, about the new announced teams for the shows? The two main shows.
By the way, that's it for the SummerSlam review. So thank you all for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Notification button. We are marching to 1,000. And yes, I did see the ESPN announcer is coming in now. They've actually figured out where he's going to start.
Joe Tessitore. We're bringing in Joe Tessitore. He's going to straighten all this shit out.
Have you ever heard the guy?
Joe Tessitore. No, I haven't. As a matter of fact, I hear him in this clip right now that I'm listening to.
This was a great hire.
They said a lot of these guys were great commentators, but none of them lasted, pal. None of them lasted. I hope this guy's got some wrestling acumen. I hope he watches the shows. He knows what's going on. Michael Cole is going to be going to SmackDown with Wade Barrett.
Yes, he is.
I'm surprised by that. And Corey Graves, the voice of SmackDown. He's had enough. He's going to be the color guy for Joe Tessitore. He's going to be the guy to talk Joe through.
So where is Pat McAfee?
They're planning for McAfee to disappear during college football season.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say is it feels like they knew this was coming. They're setting this up because he agreed to come back to ESPN after their little tit for tat.
Yes.
If you guys didn't know, ESPN sometimes finds Pat a little too controversial. He likes to stir the shit pot every now and then, and they get very uptight about that around that place. This is the same place that used to have catchphrases such as Slamma-Jamma and Booyah. And now they're getting upset about being controversial or speaking out of the side of their mouth. Whatever, ESPN. You become a joke a long time ago. I hope your entire organization burns in hell.
You wish flaming death on an entire organization.
I don't want flaming death, but I wish like hell ESPN had to close its doors. I hate that company and what it's become.
You know, Don, you brought something up about Jacob Fatu. Here's Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa in a convenience store after the show.
Yeah, I got that boot on. You can see it. Who are these guys?
They just met a couple guys in the convenience store, recognize them, that's all. There's the boot right down there on Jacob Fatu. Yeah, that's enough of that.
Oh, good for them. I just feel bad for him, man. It's such a bad break for a guy that was on his way up. You did have some AEW news. Oh, Rampage and Collision. They had a show Friday and Saturday. Nobody watched. And I mean, nobody watched.
Well, the AEW fanboys on CageMatch.com shit all over SummerSlam. They only gave it a 5.93. 5.93 out of 10. 5.93.
That's how you know Cage Match means dick all of shit when it comes to actually rating what goes on for entertainment in the wrestling world.
It means dick all of shit. And the softest man in professional wrestling.
Dave Meltzer?
FTR
no,
bald.
the other guy. FTR.
FTR bald. Had to give a rah-rah speech in the ring after Collision last night in front of, it looks like a solid 135 people.
Actually, it was, no, I will speak up on this one, okay? They did sell like 900, it was like 980 tickets, I think was the last one I saw.
This is that residency they're doing in some little
in Dallas.
Down in Dallas, Texas. Yeah.
Yes. It's actually a game arena for playing video games and streaming and shit. I'm not making this shit
You're
up.
kidding me.
These are real words coming out of my mouth.
You're serious.
Swear to God.
They're having wrestling shows in that.
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, that Warner Brothers Discovery money is going to be rich, pal. $2 billion.
$2 billion, Don. They'll be graduating to VFW halls after this. It'll be fantastic.
I saw that guy's tweet and almost fell out of my shit, man. David. Look, I'm not going to give this guy. No, not Dave. There was somebody else said that the Warner Brothers rights deal was going to be $2 billion over 5 years, and he broke down how it was going to work. Y'all got to stop hanging out in the basement so much, man. Get outside a little bit more. Good Lord. But no, please continue about FTR Bald.
FTR Bald just give a rah-rah speech, how they believe in AEW. If you love professional wrestling, AEW is the place to be. We've got the best wrestlers in the world. Yada, yada, yada. I'll list them all right now. Mortis, Orange Cassidy, Sky Blue, Renegade, Robin Renegade. Well, I'll list them all. I'm just making that up. He didn't mention any names. I'm just saying that he said the heart and soul of AEW is in this ring with me right now. Of course, him and his boy, Gun FTR. So,
Captain
Clip. It is what it is. David Bixenspan, renowned wrestling observer analyst. David Bixenspan, a true pundit for professional wrestling. He looks like a white kitchen trash bag filled with dog shit with a rotting pumpkin head on top.
Wait, is he not the guy that what's his name bases his account picture profile on?
He's got a great account picture profile. He's fantastic looking. David Bixenspan
you know what I'm talking about.
I'd show you what he looks like, but he's blocked me. And so I really can't show you what he looks like, but he looks wonderful. Search him out on Google. Google David Bixenspan. He's a real treat. He looks like a guy that you could sell shampoo to on the street corner if you figured the guy actually took showers, which I don't think he does. He got thrown out of an independent wrestling show because he smelled so bad. Did you know that?
I did
not
know that.
He stunk so bad, the neckbeards complained and they had to throw him out. He said, Don, even with the production changes post Kevin Dunn, it feels like the WWE in-ring style and overall presentation have somehow gotten even more sterile with Vince gone. If you like it, good for you. But I cannot at all compute being a rabid fan of something so cold and emotionless. That's David Bixenspan, folks. Look at that handsome man right there. Yes. Look at that guy. That's a body forged from a diet of just eating bags and bags of sour cream and cheddar ruffles.
No. That's what depression looks like.
That's what depression looks like. You've got that straight. He says, I cannot at all compute being a rabid fan of something cold and emotionless. He also is not a rabid fan of Irish Spring.
I don't want to talk about him anymore. Fuck that
David
guy.
Bixenspan. Let's go right to the ratings, Don. Let's go
yes,
to the ratings
let's do Rampage. What did that do?
Rampage,
the Friday night show that never fails to deliver on bad ratings.
10 o'clock after SmackDown, you figure, hey, one show's going off the air. I like wrestling. Let's tune on Rampage. Well, they only did 188,000 viewers. That was it.
That's not good, right?
They're down 31% from last week.
Wow.
Not good at all. Down in the demo.
They've got a lot of Olympic fans that are tuning out right now. You have a lot of crazy dogs because of the thunder and lightning in your area.
Yes, you could hear them.
I can hear them losing their shit, yes.
Yes, they're losing their minds right now. AEW Collision. 241,000 up against SummerSlam. Up against SummerSlam, 241,000. Down 33% versus last week. Down in the demo, Don. They were down in the demo. This is where it really hurts. 24,000 in the demo. They were down 83% versus last week. 83%.
I got a question, though, because you and I have mentioned this between each other several times, right? You and I have mentioned this.
Sure.
There are about 300,000 truly WWE fans that tune into that Saturday show. They're wrestling fans, right?
They'll tune into it. They tune into Dynamite, too. They tune into Dynamite also.
They'll tune into either or, but you're not going to have them not tune into a major PLE over a Saturday night free show on cable. That's just how it's going to work. We have said this now for the past year, for those of you who have followed us. Thank you, by the way. Like and subscribe, hit that notifications button. Super Chat's open. Like and subscribe. The push to 1,000 continues. But we have said there's 300,000 fans that watch that are pretty much predominantly just wrestling fans. They probably watch all of the, well, I wouldn't say all of it, but they watch the two major organizations, right? WWE and AEW. They're going to watch those two every week. It sort of makes sense to me because normally they're around that 500,000 average is what they're usually like on a Saturday night.
Right. Exactly. Have you heard about Nia Lesnar? The daughter of Brock Lesnar. Collegiate
the wrestler or
athlete.
The other one? Sorry, the shot putter or the other one?
The shot putter.
Yes, I've heard of
the shot putter.
Ahead.
Nia Lesnar failed to qualify for the Olympics team in shot putting. Bless her heart. She tried out for it and didn't quite make it. Better luck next time.
Wonder how much she was short on.
Oh, I don't know.
I'd be interested to see that.
Yeah. And for the worst wrestling take on Twitter.
Oh, boy. Now, hold on. Before you say this, there's a lot of them that I've seen in the last 24 hours.
Oh, here's a bad one. Here's a bad one, and you know who this person is. From Ibu of Wrestle Purists.
I'm not giving these guys names. I'm not gonna recognize their name.
He said, Tony Khan, see what Fox thinks. They'd be paid less than they do for SmackDown and getting a 0.4 in the demo every week.
This fool said they'd get a 0.4 in the demo.
Every week. Every week. This is a man who's actually, when he was growing up, when he was a baby, he chewed too many lead paint chips off the crib rail. And that's affected him for the rest of his life. The poor son of a bitch.
I got nothing. I'm not gonna give this guy in a second. I've seen this guy's. He's an idiot. He just does it for clickbait, which is something that I did this week. All the idiots that are out there just putting stupid shit out in wrestling just to get clickbaits, I'm muting all of them. I started doing that this week. I won't see it anymore.
It's not good. Not good at all. Not good at all. There's some more reports coming out about the Britt Baker suspension. Have you heard about this?
Oh, we have. I don't think we've talked about that because that happened after the fact, after we did our show Wednesday. We have not talked about Britt Baker and MJF and the fallout that happened at this company where apparently shit has completely come unglued.
The episode of Dynamite when MJF wrestled Will Ospreay for an hour-long match, Britt Baker made her debut back with the company that week, and she had a lot to say about the fact that they give an hour of TV time to these two guys having a match, and there's no women's matches on the show whatsoever. And when they do have women's matches, it's generally just one match per show. That's it. So she had a lot to say about that, and it got back to MJF because Alicia Tout.
He took it well.
Alicia Tout is a backstage interviewer, and she's also MJF's live-in fiance, girlfriend, whatever you want to call her. And she ran her mouth to MJF. He came storming into the women's locker room and put his fist through the wall and screamed at Britt Baker, and she told him to go get effed, basically. And he did not like that whatsoever. She gave it right back to him verbally, what he was giving to her. And he sauntered out. Turns out Britt Baker's having a little trouble with authority there because Will Washington, the former Fightful writer and podcaster, he's the cousin of Swerve Strickland.
That's the guy that they say only does the African-American storyline, is what was previously reported, correct?
Yes, he writes the promos and the storylines for the African-American talent. Well, he went to give Britt Baker some coaching on a promo, and she told him to go fuck himself.
Wait, no, that's not what happened. I read the report on what happened.
Well, what is it?
I tell you what happened.
Me.
Here's what he said. He said, I got an idea for your match. You should kick out at 2. And she turned at him and said, you could literally go fuck your own face. And I was like, that's a bit much.
Really?
No.
You just why?
But it sounds better that way.
The relationship between Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné is extremely toxic at best, and many have been reporting Mercedes conducts herself backstage as if she runs the whole place, and that rubs a lot of people the wrong way, specifically Britt, because last year Britt conducted herself backstage like she ran the whole place. So you've got two type A personalities that think they run the whole show, butting heads. And the rumor has it going around they may find a way to call off this match at Wembley. It may not happen between Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné. It's that bad between the two of them, yes. And Britt said she was just standing up for the rest of the women in the locker room, explaining why many of the talent sided with Britt during this entire ordeal. They're siding with Britt, which is a shocker right there. So, the worm is turned for Britt Baker. Yes.
Who is the young lady that had Lufisto, right? That's her name?
Lufisto, yes. Indie talent from Canada.
She was the one that initially said, hey, this women's locker room is toxic as shit. And she called out Britt Baker and a few other girls.
Yes.
And she got shit on. And MJF put a letter out via his signature and everything on how great the women's locker room was. Fast forward literally a year later, same shit's happening upon her return. Here we go again. Same shit, different day.
Don, I hate to say it. I knew this was going to happen when Britt Baker came back. I knew it was going to happen. They're going to butt heads. Britt wants to run the whole show. It's going to be all about her. And, I mean, she's had a stroke.
You missed another part of that story, though, with the Mariah May incident.
Oh,
yeah.
Because she used the sling blade, the Finn Balor move called the sling blade, which is what Britt Baker was doing for a while in the ring. So Britt Baker thinks that she co-opted that move from her and shouldn't be using it.
And she apparently went nuts backstage because of it. So, again, I just want to reiterate. I was told by all of the diehard freakazoid neckbeards that MJF and all these guys were fine. CM Punk was the real problem. CM Punk is why nobody can get along. CM Punk is the toxic guy in the ring. CM Punk is the guy backstage that's doing all of the mayhem and causing all these problems. He's been gone for a year this month. It's been a year that he's been gone. You can't keep blaming this guy, which, by the way, the last 800,000 number their big show even generated was the one that featured the CM Punk brawl out, brawl in, whatever the hell you want to call it footage, where he choked out Perry for a couple of seconds, like he put it. Like,
absolutely. And John Moxley's even weighed in on this. John Moxley's weighed in on this. He said, I've never seen a bunch of goddamn drama in a locker room in my entire life.
I could not find that article. I saw it, and the guy took it down that wrote it. But I saw it. I saw it the same day, and they took it down. So I couldn't find it again, but I'm glad you saw it too. So it wasn't just me that saw that shit pop up online the second this all happened.
Tony probably killed that. Tony killed it. I'm sure he did.
You saw that too.
I'm sure he did. Oh, yeah.
I could not find that bottles, and it was driving me nuts. I couldn't find that. But that's what he said. There's so much damn drama in that locker room. It's sad.
So where does AEW go from there? Where do they go? They're shopping the TV deal around now. The negotiating window with Warner Brothers Discovery is done. They're free to go ahead and shop that around. It's been said by Fightful, who's got his head up Tony Khan's ass. You know who I'm talking about. He would know all the correct details.
The meatloaf!
Jesus Christ.
That's Tony
said,
Khan right now in the meeting that they're having about TV contracts.
Yes. So where do they go from here? What do they do? Do you just
They're
take
up
the
Schitt's
offer?
Creek.
We've talked about this. Do they just take the lowball offer from Warner Brothers Discovery just to stay on?
Hold on. Hold on here before you continue. Do you think it's a lowball offer?
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
I
think they got NXT money. I think they've offered $60 million.
I think it's a fair offer, what they gave them. It's what they see the product as. You are drawing, I'm almost positive when they made the offer, they were still drawing almost 800,000. It's gone down to 600 now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was a fair market offer, probably in that $80 to $90 million a year range for 5 years, maybe 3. Let's see how this goes. Now you're down in the 600s, pal. They're already showing shows that they're going to advertise in October where they're hot-shotting shit again. In October, bottles are doing this shit.
Just awful. Awful.
It's not getting any better. It's getting worse. They need to go ahead and understand where they are as far as a company. Hire someone to book the show. Hire somebody to do some of their production values and go from there because it's gotten better. They've hired some ex-WWE guys. The production's getting better. But the fact that the entire building looks like a cave because there's nobody there, it's not helping their product.
No. Smaller buildings, run smaller buildings, see if you can fill a 800-seat building, light the place up a little brighter than what you're doing, make it seem like there's some excitement. Something's got to give, pal. Something's got to give, or they're going to be on Pop TV. Something's got to happen, or they're going to be on Dabble. You ever see Dabble? That's just a low budget.
Dude, that's got to be like the trailer park version of Pluto TV.
Dabble is just where old reality TV reruns go to die, pal. Dabble. DABL. They'll be on MeTV next year. MeTV.
They better hope they're on MeTV. That's actually
Sockface will say, coming up next, Bugs Bunny and Friends.
I can't stand that guy. My God, he's the dirt worst. Which, by the way, there's one other piece of business I want to talk about before we
what do you got, Don?
Sign off for the evening and we head home into the sunset. Magic windows are operating. Summer's getting late.
Sherry, hit the switch.
Have you watched any of the Olympics? Because I haven't watched much, but there's one piece of business I watched.
Anthony Ambarati from Paris, France, who got a schlong called on the
pole vaulter. Yes.
I bookmarked that. I was going to put it on the show, and it's been removed. They copyrighted it on Twitter. You can't show it. You can't have it.
I'm going to recap what the shit I saw because it goes beyond anything I've ever seen in sports. This guy goes to do the pole vault. He's going for a medal. It's not the gold. It's not the silver. He's competing for bronze. It's his last vault. He clears the entire bar with his body. I cannot make this up. Apparently, his third leg didn't clear the bar and wrapped around that bastard like a python and took it down with him.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a sad showing from Tony the Hog Ammirati from Paris, France. Tony the Hog Ammirati will go home empty-handed. Well, empty-handed in one hand.
I guarantee you his social life just picked up dramatically.
Absolutely. And I hate to say this. There was a clip on Twitter of some kid from the Great Britain. He was a swimmer. He's in a Speedo. And he's trying to adjust this thing. He looked like he had a carp in his pants in his Speedo, trying to adjust this thing before he actually went into the water so nothing pops out. Good Lord Almighty. What are they feeding these kids?
I don't know, but the guy that did the pole vault literally did the pole vault, and I felt bad for him until I saw why he failed. I was like, fuck that guy. He's got no problems in life.
He didn't even use a pole.
Just fucking long-donged it.
Use his own pole.
That's the show for today, fellas. Bottles, I'm out of time, and I'm out of things to say. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. We're probably going to do another show Thursday, but you never know. If shit pops off, we'll be here like a Viagra pill on a bad date night for you to just look at.
I'm out of booze, and I'm fed up and tired, Don. You know who was never out of vodka?
Oh, I know.
Till next week, Gordon Soley saying, so long from the sunshine.